I can't hear the game at all if I'm supposed to be able to.
Test, test, 1, 2.
Okay, can hear you. I can't hear the game. Oh, there
Yeah,
it
I
is.
can hear Hex. There's the game.
Could the game be lowered a little bit? Yeah, that's good. Anyway, we're gonna play Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Video games, that's how things work.
Can you guys hear yourselves properly? Do you need
Yep.
to lower the volume? Is it good volume?
Feed's good for me.
That's actually where this game is, as well as Drake and Josh for GBA.
So whenever you're ready, you can press that button.
Okay, so I am live. Okay, I didn't think I was live. Okay, that's fine.
Can you give me 1 second? Give me 1 second.
Look at this amazing menu.
Do you know what any of those actually say?
This is like new game, password, gallery, something, 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 options.
Great. My favorite Japanese character is the one that looks like a smiley face.
Alright, so whenever you're ready,
This
you can
one?
press that button.
No.
Or this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1, bam.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello, this is Donald Duck Advance. It is a very often forgotten early GBA platformer. Its history is a bit weird. It's based off a GBC game, which is based off a game called Donald Duck Going Quackers, but also it's nothing like Donald Duck Going Quackers. So it's kind of a unique entity. The game consists of a bunch of levels where you have to collect 3 orbs and then get to the exit. And the key to this run is to be moving as fast as possible, as much as possible, obviously. You have a dash that's pressed with the R button, and the dash persists through jumps and ducks. Haha, ducks.
Knack.
It does not persist through walking on vines or turning around, so the idea is really to be jumping as much, or to be running as much as possible. There are these things at the beginning of the game, which kind of just have to wait out. In addition, you also have a punch button. Punch. Now, this game doesn't start off that hard, but this is actually a very tough game. You have 2 health, and you get hit twice, it's over. But the game does give you like 1,000,000 lives to kind of balance things out. So you end up dying a lot. I will be taking some deaths during the run. I mean, there's 2 intentional ones. But it's one of those games where even as a speedrunner, it's pretty likely that I'm going to be taking more than that as well. Okay, so the thing with these mushrooms that I've messed up in this instance, because it's one of the harder ones we'll have plenty of time for, is if you keep running across mushrooms, you'll maintain your dash. But if you turn around to adjust, which you sometimes have to do, sometimes it's easy not to do, and sometimes it's actually impossible to do it without adjusting. You will fall, or you will lose your speed.
Yeah, there are a couple cases where you don't want to do a running jump onto the mushroom because you'll just overshoot it, and in order to not overshoot it, you need to adjust and then just lose all your speed anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, every world contains 4 levels, and then there's a final boss at the end. So this is level 2 of level 1, or this is world 1-2, would be the normal person way to say that. Anyway, if you haven't noticed, those little orbs with Donald's face are lives. Now you may notice that we've done a whopping 1 level and already have 10 lives. So lives aren't exactly rare in this game. They give you a lot. So we're never going to go out of our way for lives. If you pick up 100 of these little star things, you also get a life. And like the blue one, oh, oops. Double oops.
If you die to this blue jay.
I'm not going to die to the blue jay. There's an ice cream cone right here. Ice cream cones restore health,
Yeah.
for the record.
You can tell the health by seeing Donald's face in the top left. If it's happy, he's at full health, and if it's not happy, he's not at full health.
Yeah, it's also on his portrait, but that's a little hard to tell. The game doesn't explain that, and it can be a little confusing. Anyway, with a lot of these log sections, you can actually just dash across and ignore the second log entirely. Bop. So yeah, the logs you kind of always have to wait for. Some more than others. I actually waited there so I'd be able to get that top log. Because if I got the bottom one, it would have taken longer. So hypothetically, this is a really bad place to die. Which probably isn't a thing I should even bring up because I'm cursing my luck here.
Don't worry, it's not gonna happen.
These
There's
things
no
will
way.
need to... These things will need to, like, go all the way back down from the top, so... If you die there, it's like one of the most time-costly deaths in the run. It's also not a super hard death to avoid, but it has happened to me before. It almost did.
That was closer than I would have liked.
It's fine. Anyway, every third level is a chase stage where either something chases after you or you chase after something. You basically just run to the end. These look like Arnold scrollers. They're not entirely. There's a few things you can do to control your speed here. One is obviously never stopping, but the level doesn't want you to do that anyway. The bigger one is sometimes you'll have to duck under an obstacle, and you want to cut those ducks as close as possible.
Yeah.
So, like under these cobwebs and stuff. Which will come up in a second, the first one. You want to get as close to the cobweb as possible before hitting duck. But if you take too long, it'll bounce you back. And because you actually usually get 2 chances, so you won't die probably, but you might get hit. So the trick to those like long ones that aren't cobwebs is that you just want to press the down button and stop holding onto it, because Donald won't be able to stand up, so he'll stand up as soon as possible if you let go of the button. So that's pretty nice of the game. That does not apply for the cobwebs. If you stand up in a cobweb, it'll bounce you back. So you got to be careful to which one. So there you go. Those levels are pretty short and easy, except for the last one. The last one is legitimately brutal, even as a speedrunner. And the last one is a complete auto-scroller, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, I had to turn around there, so no maintaining speed or anything on those, unfortunately. So this is our last level in World 1. It's kind of weird that the chase levels are not the last levels, honestly. You'd think they would be, because they are the closest thing this game has to bosses, except for the final boss. This game does have one of those. Anyway, it's really cute that this game thinks you're going to do this log platforming section.
Or nah.
Yeah. You can just run off the side and do it. Okay, this is one of the harder ones to be able to jump across. Okay. Well, I hacked that up. And also, I just noticed there's no floor there. They forgot to put one in because they expected you not to see that. I didn't know that. By the way, if I make jokes about this game and stuff like that, I just want to put on the record, because I feel like it doesn't come across super well from watching it. This is actually a very fun, very good game. Not just as a speed game, this is a very fun casual game that's very overlooked, very criminally, I think. Anyway, there's another one of those segments we're going to skip, and we're going to the city.
I love the jackhammer dudes.
So this is World 2. Yeah, you actually need to cut your speed there. There's no way to get across all 4 like that. Anyway, this world, same rules, pick up the orbs. It likes to do these bouncy roofs a lot, and kind of more moving platforms is a lot of the gimmicks. It's not as bad in terms of cycles as the waterfalls. There are some things that are cyclical. A lot of these vines as well. We actually don't want to go up there. This place is probably the least linear the game gets. It's still mostly linear, but there's a couple alternate ways you can go. They won't lead to the exit or anything, but they will, lead to power-ups and stuff that we don't want. I didn't get the first jump in the right place. These are some of the harder ones to actually time properly. So you may notice jumping on enemies kills them as well as punching them with exceptions to enemies with spikes on top. So yeah, we're gonna just head down here. Get this ice cream cone for health. Immediately lose it by mistake.
Intended. Intended.
Intended. It doesn't matter. I don't actually need that health for anything. There's no damage boost here. Because that one that blows steam at you, that will hurt, but I go over the second one, and the first one, the cycle we're on won't hit me. And I don't even think there's anything else that can damage me for the rest of the level. But they give you an ice cream cone anyway.
It just tastes good.
Oh, there's this that can damage you. But they put an ice cream cone before and after it. So, you know. This is one of those ones that you can't get across by dashing. The timing won't work out. You can get across some of it, but... Anyway, we're about to hit our first and only skip of the run. So let's hope I get this first try. This saves about 30 seconds. Oops. Ta-da.
Nice.
There's like a...
I don't know if it got picked up on mic, but let the record show that some of our audience in the background shouted clap repeatedly.
That was Proto. Anyway, I accidentally picked up an extra life. Notice that I'm gonna bring this up a few times just because I find it so hilarious. Notice that we're at 24 lives. We're in level 2.
I mean, especially in a marathon, better to have them than not, you know?
Oh, absolutely. If this game, I would not be speedrunning. Yeah, we got a bad cycle for those balloons.
Yeah, that was really close.
Yeah, these things, the thing is that, like, they're stage-based, so... Have good movement and you might get a good cycle, but also sometimes you might not because, you know, the cycle you're on based on good movement isn't going to be the good cycle either, so... You deal with what you get. There's no controlling it. So yeah, you can make it more likely that you'll hit the cycle with that one by bouncing off the person, because it'll give you more height to land on the balloons with. So that raises your odds. You usually catch that cycle because you have that, way of doing it. Anyway. Anyway, we're gonna... Ow. I shouldn't have been standing there. It doesn't really matter. But I was like, I'll stand here to get on there fast as possible. It doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna get hit again.
You gotta build suspense.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's 2-2.
This is going much better than the practice run.
Oh, yeah, I always need... So this game is, because of how precise it is with a lot of the platforming, I always need a warm-up run. My first run of the day will always, always, always be terrible with this game, so I needed to make sure to do one beforehand. It's because there's so many easy ways to make mistakes. So this chase stage is a bit different than the others. In all the other ones, you're being chased by something. In this one, you're chasing the squirrel.
Also, if you hit it, money flies out, which confirms that it's a Sonic character.
It doesn't really matter if you hit it. See, I just hit it there to demonstrate. It's not hard to hit. I hit it there again.
Was that a double?
I also hit a bird.
Oh, okay.
The first time it happened, I didn't know you could hit the squirrel, and it happened over there. And I saw double money come out, and I'm like, did I just find a bug that lets double money spawn? And the answer was no, I hit the squirrel at the same time, and the game acted as intended. There's a couple bugs in this game. Unfortunately, none of them work to our advantage. We might be unfortunate enough to see one in the final boss. If not, I'll talk about what it is and why it's bad.
Yeah.
Fortunately, hopefully we won't. I mean, hopefully it won't even matter and we won't even need it, but we'll get to that later.
Here's hoping.
It's a bug that involves picking up health drops and not having them count.
Yeah. Basically, because of how the iframes work, they don't really prevent damage, they just prevent you from dying, because you only have 2 HP. So if you try to pick up an ice cream while you are, like, being damaged or while you are in iframes, it just doesn't work. So,
yeah,
like,
it's a really weird bug. Because you only have 2 health, I never thought of it. And the only place it actually becomes relevant is during the final boss fight, because the final boss is the only place you can have damage and health in the same spot.
yeah.
It's a weird bug. Bad cycle there.
Wee, wee.
It's so weird that iframes in this game don't actually make you invincible.
Yeah.
They just prevent you from dying. Alright, so yeah. There's another, like, I'm not going to call it a skip. There's another shortcut coming up that we might be able to get. It can be kind of hard. And you only get 1 chance at it. And, like, you only get 1 chance at it, and it's extremely minor, but we'll give it a go. It's right here. Specifically, not having to go back around is a thing we can do. Or we can die. That's okay. That was very close to the checkpoint. I had a feeling that might happen with these electrical things. They can be mean. So we're going to purposely not kill that guy. Now, the thing about this jump is we're going to have to bounce off the head again to gain some height. But, okay, good. We actually did it. But the thing about that one is that you have to be running and it has to be in the right spot. And you can't, because you need the momentum. Anyway, we're in level 3, and this is where the game starts to get very difficult.
It's the Castlevania world.
It's where Count Duckula lives.
I really, maybe it's just my love of Halloween, but I just really love all the enemies in this stage. They're all
same.
amazing.
No, oops. It's okay, you keep the orb if you die. That's not a big deal. There's actually some times later. There's actually a few stages later in the run where we'll intentionally death warp because it's faster. After picking up orbs. Safety health. Marathon.
Marathon strats.
Good thing I picked
Good
that
thing
up.
you picked it up, yeah.
Yeah, so those enemies basically try to like flail a chain at you. And they are the worst. Their hitboxes are bad, and you have to wait for them to turn around. But even if you do wait for them to turn around, sometimes I'll damage boost through them if it's in a spot where that's a good idea. Even if you do wait for them to turn around, their hitboxes are weird, and you can still get hit. That's actually a theme with this level. This world, level 3, has the worst hitboxes in the game.
Yeah. There are a lot of enemies, and Hex makes it look really easy to defeat them, but there are a lot of enemies that are really finicky to try and actually hit them.
Yeah, some of them are, some of them aren't. Like, the skulls aren't bad, but these ones are miserable. Like, if I'm unlucky, you'll see me try to hit one from behind and inexplicably take a hit. They're invincible from the front. Anyway, we want to save health here for a damage boost that's faster. Specifically, these coffins are very slow to cross without damage boosting. So you want to save health for them. So we're going to get hit by this ghosty.
Spooky ghost.
3 spoopy, 5 me this level. Anyway, this level has what might be the most annoying segment in the entire game. And it's all because of those pumpkin enemies' miserable hitboxes. So these carpets disappear when you stand on them. They last for a good while you're standing on them, so it's only a problem if you do what I just did and fall down. Have to wait for them to come back. Because you were being greedy and tried to run across them, even though that's a terrible idea. These lamps swing. You can duck then jump always works on them. Even on the pairs of 2 that come later. There's going to be a health soon, so I just took that hit. Because unless I get hit by those candles, I'm fine. Anyway, here's one of the most difficult segments in the game, and I might take a few deaths here trying to do it. It's all because these pumpkin enemies on the ledges, you need to be very precise with landing on their heads. So we got the first one, and then there's two, so even if you get hit, there's two of them here. So. Oh, we did it.
That is a lot harder than it looks.
No, that doesn't look hard, but those hitboxes are atrocious. Those pumpkin enemies have literally the worst hitboxes in the entire game. Most of the hitboxes in this game aren't a problem. The only two exceptions to that I can think of are the swinging chain enemies and rocking chairs, and the pumpkins. And that's the last time pumpkins will really be. That's not the last pumpkin, but it is the last pumpkin in a terrible spot. Because the issue comes when you put the issue really comes when you put them like at ledges, because there's not really like a way to position yourself easily. Anyway, these things are these things are finicky. They have a faster cycle than you'd expect, and you can donk your head on the top one and like lose your jump. I'm gonna kill that for safety because I really don't want to have to do that again.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3-2. That was one of the best 3-2s I've ever had, just because.
Yeah, that was very clean.
Not dying in that level is hard. Like, I haven't taken a lot of deaths in this run, which is pretty nice, because, like, you can expect some deaths. You can especially expect some deaths in World 4.
Yeah.
So this is our chase stage for the level. It's actually more of a normal level this time around. This ghost chased us. It's not like a linear level or anything, so you can run around. We're actually going to get hit by the ghost in a couple places, because it's faster than going around. There's also a few places where the ghost leaves, like this one, because it wouldn't be fair if the ghost was close to you. You wouldn't have a way around. So the game despawns the ghost, which is pretty nice. There's also these pits in the floor you're supposed to jump over, which is hilarious, because running over them will just get you over to the other side, so you don't have to worry about it. Those chains, they expect you to jump back and forth to dodge the ghost.
Yeah, that hit was at the top was intentional, because it's faster than trying to dodge it.
Yeah, there's two segments like that. I'll get hit on both of them unless I take a hit somewhere. But this is the chase stage is actually, except for the last one, tend to be the easier stages, so I shouldn't be taking excess hits. So yeah, we can. Ooh, we actually dodged the hit there, which I also did during practice. That is super precise, and also not a thing I actively try for, because what's the point? It doesn't lose time to get hit, so you know, whatever. So I accidentally hit a very precise window to be able to do that. I could have ducked under, but because there was the health there, and ducking is slower, I didn't. Ducking is a pretty insignificant thing, but it is, you know, save the frames and all that. Anyway, here's our last stage in good old spooky Duxburg. So here, these things will try to be mean to you. You can only jump up 2. It looks like you can jump up 3. You cannot jump up 3. It will not work. You will fall. But you. Believe me, I have spent a long time trying to jump up 3. It doesn't work. You may think it will work, it won't. I cannot stress how much it won't work, because I have spent so long trying to make it work. It doesn't.
But what if it does?
Oh, I should try. I should start the level over and try it. That's a good point. So, heck. We're actually going to wait these out because we have another one of our really hard segments coming up. So there's no checkpoint for quite a while here, and there's a lot of these enemies, and most. Ooh. Okay,
close.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. That jump is kind of tricky. I was like, we got it. We didn't get it. There's also these whipping grandmas at ledges, which is the most fun thing in the world. I usually save a damage boost for the second one, but unfortunately that's not a liberty we'll have this time, so I'm going to have to just kind of play it a little slow. Because, yeah, the second one doesn't start with a good cycle. Because those aren't stage-based. They spawn in. Yeah, and I don't have health, so... You know what? That's fine. That'll let me do the damage boost, which will be equivalent in how much time it'll take. So we're going to jump off this because jumping is faster than crawling, but we are going to jump back on because there's just a spike pit below that. Spikes don't insta-kill you, but those do put you in a spot where it's hard to recover. And this orb has a unique property that makes it very annoying if you're not paying attention. There's a checkpoint between the book that activates the orb and the orb itself. So if you die to that enemy, you're going to you're gonna have to run all the way back, and it's a pain. Also, this enemy respawns during the cutscene, because of course it does. Anyway, we wanted to not get hit, so we could damage boost here, because that's a very important damage boost because it lets us run across and get the table. Because if we did it slowly, we wouldn't be able to get the table. Anyway, that's level 3. As far as level 3 goes, that was actually really good. We took very few deaths there.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's level 4, and this is where the game gets really hard. These axes are absurd to dodge. Their hitboxes are massive. They're not, like, unfair or hard to see. The hitboxes are exactly what they look like. It's just that the axes are very big. Anyway, this segment's a little tough. We might take a death here because I accidentally took a hit before. At the very least, hopefully we'll get the orb before I take the death and I won't have to go get it again. I mean, ideally we won't take a death at all. But here's where deaths start to come in and why it starts to become important. Okay, yeah. We didn't even get the orb. That's okay, though.
Yeah, those axes are stupid hard to dodge.
They are no fun. This game is like a cute, childish, charming platformer, but it is so difficult. It is one of the hardest GBA games I've played, full stop.
It lures you in. Hey, that's actually really hard to do, to get out of there without getting hit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that worked. I was just planning on taking that health, but I went for it. Let me do a damage boost in a minute. Or let me do a damage boost there. Anyway, we might die to these boulders here. Deaths are going to start happening here. It's okay. None of them are that costly.
No. It's worked into the estimate. Like.
Yeah, it's worked into world record.
Yeah.
World record is not even close to deathless in this game. The boulders usually aren't too much of a pain, but kind of the way they spawn can be a bit of a pain in certain spots, especially if you're trying to go fast. Anyway, we're gonna have to do that slow. I would normally damage boost off that enemy, and then arrive in time to punch that one in the back, but because we didn't have health, I needed to do it the slow way. Anyway, we're gonna damage boost off these spikes because it speeds this segment up massively. Heck, I didn't move fast enough. I wasn't expecting to mess that up. Oh, it looks like I activated the checkpoint, actually. So it didn't matter. I've never had that happen before, but I'll take it.
Did you, like, hit it post-mortem or something?
No, I went the wrong way is what happened.
Oh, nice.
And it looked like the other area.
Classic.
It's okay. I'll just die and come back. Whoops. That was a mistake. It's alright. We're good. There's the damage boost, number 1. We'll damage boost there because waiting for those is very slow. There's the checkpoint. Yeah, and this segment looks just like the one I ran before, which is why I got confused. Those things can be a pain to jump over. Fortunately, I can damage boost through something there, as well as here. There's another health, like right here. But I didn't have enough momentum built up for that. Those jumps are very precise across those spiked things, and that's not even a trick, that's just what the game expects you to do. Anyway, this is a fun little orb here. So, first thing we're gonna do is punch this thing. We're gonna try to run across these. I think in the second one I'm going to have to dodge. Run up, punch this, jump over that, get the boulder, or get the ice cream, and that ice cream should give us... Okay, actually, I'm going to have to dodge one. Yep. I got stuck at the ledge. You have enough iframes to get through the whole thing. Oh, well. This is not uncommon for level 4. This game gets real hard.
Yeah, this is still very good. World 4.
Yeah, normally you want to get hit immediately, take it, and then run up here. And then the orb is this way. Get a free life. Not that you need it. Hi, we're at 35 lives. We are not going to die 35 times. And that's the level. All of these levels are very scary. Fortunately, there's only 4 of them. Yes, even the auto-scroller. Okay, yeah, see, those things have not... Those things have a similar problem to the you know, rocking chair chain enemies, but they're not as mean. That's okay. There's a spare health up here. We're gonna go for it. Okay. Yeah, we're still gonna go for the health, by the way. I'm just gonna be a little more careful.
For a second, it looked like you like grabbed the ledge.
I did my double jump to try to recover it. All right, this is very normal. I cannot stress that this is very normal for how World 4 goes.
I asked Hex if she was going to be donating per death, and I think you just laughed at me.
I can't afford it. Although, actually, I haven't been dying as much as I thought, so maybe I could have afforded it. Unfortunately, I haven't been counting or anything.
Yeah.
A lot of the late game is super precise.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to do one of our patented damage boosts now, or we're going to do one of our patented death warps. There are only 2 of them in the run that we actually want to do. Although there's one that's really hard not to do, and we might do it because it doesn't lose that much time. So we're going to get hit there. Then we're going to do that. Going back to the you keep the orb, and going back to the checkpoint is significantly faster than getting out of that pit by walking. So yeah, let's get this ice cream, which is nice and right here, because I usually get hit there.
You could say it's a nice cream.
You can say I regret having you on my couch. Anyway, this is the one I was talking about. This is the death warp stage. It's faster not to death warp, but you do have to go through a little gauntlet that you have to go through twice. If this goes, it's very easy to die here, and if it happens, it's not a big deal because it means we don't have to go through this again. All right, well, I'm coming out of this without getting hit. The thing is, going back up here, you have to do that very slow way or take a hit, which I don't really want to do right now because we're in a marathon and this is a hard level.
Yeah.
Anyway, these things are faster to damage boost through, but there's a reason that I'm not damage boosting through that one, and it's so that I can damage boost through this one. Anyway, this look how far it is to the orb. This is our second death warp. Because, like, it takes a while to get there. It takes much longer to get there going back. If you dunk the ceiling there, you will die, which is why I climbed down the rope a little bit. Anyway, death warp. That is a substantially faster method of doing that. So yeah, we're gonna walk slowly through here so we can damage boost through the second one again. Sometimes the boulder will hit you, sometimes it won't. It kind of just depends on your, like, timing. It doesn't matter because you're damage boosting either way. Anyway, there's ice cream there, but it's out of the way, and there's nothing left to kill us, so there. Anyway, let's hope I can do this deathless. This is an auto-scroller, so you'd think it would be an easy stage. It's not. It's super unforgiving. A lot of these hazards blend into the background, and how to jump over those fire enemies is very unclear, especially when they put 2 of them in a row like that.
I legitimately didn't even notice the spears coming out of the floor and ceiling the first time I saw this. Yep. I was like, why are you jumping for no reason? Oh, God.
Yeah, so took a death there already, which is okay. I expect, like, Deaths here are not unexpected.
Yeah.
And then there's jumps like that where, like, yep, good luck recovering, you're done. Hi, you. Hey, I wonder if we should risk dying to get that life. I know I have 34 lives for this, for 1.5 levels plus a boss.
It's just, I just don't know if it's enough lives. I think it's really worth risking it.
By the way, game overing just kicks you out of the stage, so it's not even that big of a deal. I had to deliberately test that, by the way. Like, I had to purposely go run out all my lives because I was curious. Because, like, running out of lives is a little ridiculous. It's not going to happen. The game gives you so many. That's how the game balances itself. It's like, yeah, all of these segments are super tough, but we're going to give you 40 lives, so no complaining. And then my response is to complain. That's the hardest segment of this part, by the way, is that little bit gauntlet. It's okay, though. We've only taken, what, 2 deaths here?
Yeah, it's still very good.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, it's okay. We're actually on great pace regardless. The first half of this run was one of my best ones ever. It might have been my best first half ever. I wish I had my splits to verify that. But oh well. Alright, good. Once you hit that point, they start giving you more ice cream cones.
Those looked kind of like smoothies to me for a while.
They are definitely ice cream cones.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying I'm blind.
Fair. Alright, that was our last chase stage of the run. And here's time for our last level. This one has this gimmick with these sliding out platforms that are A, pretty difficult to see, B, move slower than you'd think, especially with how the bookshelves work. Because, like, all the cycles in this game are very different from each other, and it's kind of weird, honestly. It's not bad. I'm not saying that's a bad design thing. I'm saying it makes the knowing the cycles very difficult. So we're just going to jump down here and hope we don't die. Because that axe can just blindside you. And there's another axe here, so we're going to take it nice and slow. Jumping over the axe is the only guaranteed safe way. You can crawl under it, but it's risky. Same with we're going to lose our run there. I would be a little more risky if A, this wasn't a marathon, and B, I didn't have that 1 health. So yeah, we're going to get our orb, and we can start counting down orbs now, because that was our third last orb. So there's 2 orbs left, so 3. I forgot the bottom of those platforms actually hurt you. It's okay, we keep the orb.
Yeah. Orb.
You want to fall down there, but it's very precise, because on one side spikes and on the other lava, and you can't see. I mean, the intended is to ride the platforms down, but that would be slow. Even with those 2 deaths, it would have been slower to ride the platforms down.
You gonna go for it?
No, I'm not going for... Yeah, that's an absurdly risky money, and...
Swag stars.
Yeah. There we go.
I got the swag stars. You happy?
I am happy. That's all I wanted.
I got the easier swag stars. Those are actually the easier ones. I didn't go for the hard ones. I should have damage boosted there. That was a mistake. It's okay, though. That's really hard to do if you don't take the damage boost. Because that gives you, like, just enough time to do that. Like, and because the platforms are weird and you have to jump around them at an angle because they decided to put them directly on top of each other, I usually take the damage boost, but I ended up not doing that, which ended up actually working out just fine. Which admittedly surprised me, because I was like, oh heck, I forgot to do the damage boost. Anyway, here's our last orb of the run. No more orbs.
The final orb.
Final Fantasy orb.
Don't choke, you'll make it.
And we're gonna damage boost there and hope we don't die. Because that's the, slowest. That spot is the slowest part of this. We're gonna hope that the cruelty bats don't kill us. I call these the cruelty bats because they can do that. See, that was a hitbox thing if you didn't notice. I landed on that bat. Anyway, we get to redo that segment now. Curse you, cruelty bats. Cruelty bat, one down.
All right, don't do it.
I clipped through the ceiling there. I don't know how I did that.
All right, close enough to revenge. We got past it.
All right, so final boss time. So this final boss can be a jerk. It really depends on how one of his attacks goes.
Yeah.
So the final boss always does this duck thing, but the thing is the final boss will shoot these fireballs out, and where they land is random. Oh, heck. I missed the hit.
Yeah, the fire on the ground can wall you off in a really serious way, and
Yeah,
it's just bad.
Where it lands is random, and it can land in some pretty mean spots. It'll never be a completely impossible pattern, but some of them feel like it. Okay, Mike.
So the wizard kind of alternates between like the human form and the bat form, and he'll take one hit in each form before like switching.
Not quite. It's one hit the first time. It's 2 hits the second. Just punch at the nothing while waiting.
Gotta practice your punches, Rocky Balboa.
So yeah. So it's always jump over. Which like patterns the boss takes is set, fortunately. Ah, heck, we don't have a good fire pattern here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have... Okay, good. So the fire only disappears after bat phases, which makes these next 2 phases very tough. So these corners are always safe, but this is where it gets mean with the... Okay, never mind. Those corners are usually safe. All right, no more hits. It's fine. Fire getting in the corners is mean. Ah, boo. It's okay. We got this time.
Doing this boss deathless is very, very hard.
Yeah, world record has it. World record has deathless boss.
Yeah.
As of earlier this week, that is. I don't know why I tried that. That was the wrong phase to do that. It's okay though. Hey there. Hey there, buddy. I hope you're having a good day. Cruising overhead. Heck, I was standing in a bad spot for the way that fire went. All right, this is the time. We took a few deaths here, which was not great, but this is the go. Oops. The ice creams will actually stay forever, so you can keep them for later, but if fire spawns on top of them, I'll talk about this bug now. If fire spawns on top of them and you try to pick them up, it won't work.
Yeah, like you pick up the ice cream and you just don't heal.
Yeah, even if you're in iframes, it'll immediately, because you can lose your ice cream in iframes for some reason. All right, so I have just enough room here to lower the bat like this. If I... Whatever. It's fine. Alright, the corner should be safe now with this pattern. Alright. Alright, so the corner's still safe, which is good. Because the other spot is kind of a lot harder. There's no visual cue for where it is. So the corner is the only place you want to be. Okay, if I can just get out of here.
Nice.
That's actually a world record. Two world records and one marathon. Let's go.
Go for 3.
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 Yo, no pressure. Any thoughts about the run?
Yeah, this is a good game, and I would recommend people actually check it out because it's a super fun speedrun that As you can see, still has some places to be optimized, so... So I would definitely recommend anyone watching to go play this, because it's fun.
We're gonna continue on to the next game. Just feel free to say goodbye and his last thoughts.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to donate, because that would be super cool of you. And yeah, stay tuned for Golden the Robot.